Welcome back to Lorna Páirce here on WLR, with thanks to PwC Waterford. Well, 5 years ago on Valentine's night, Waterford drew with Limerick 22 points to 216 at the Gaelic grounds in the opening round of Division 1B. And 3 months later, the Déise were crowned league champions for only the third time. And to reflect on that game in 2015, I'd like to be joined on the line by former Déise forward Brian O'Halloran. And Brian, when you think back on that night in Limerick 5 years ago, did that kind of really get the ball rolling for that group under Derek McGrath?
Yeah, I'd say so. Tomas, it did. Now, to be honest, it's a fair statement to make. We were coming off the back of a very bad 2014 with Derek's first year, and 2015 was always going to be a kind of a make or break year for that bunch. And I suppose the first game was going to be the make or break as regards getting out of the division, because at that time getting out of the division was such a big thing. And basically, if we'd lost to Limerick that night, your chances of getting out were slim and none. So it was a huge thing to go up there and put in a performance, but to get a point out of it and keep ourselves in contention of promotion was a huge thing, certainly, yeah.
Yeah, I remember Derek and Dan Shanahan and Fintan O'Connor were very animated on the sideline that night. Brian, did you kind of treat it like a championship game as such?
Yeah, we had we did. I'd say now, to be honest. Yeah, I remember we went back very early that year, and we trained very hard in October, November, December. We really geared ourselves towards the league, and even the Waterford Crystal games or the Munster League games. We tried fairly hard in them as well. So we played Clare in a challenge match the week before, in a serious enough game, and we were gung ho for the Limerick game. Yeah, I think Derek knew the significance of the league that year, and I think he made no bones about it, and it certainly paid off that night anyway, going hard for it. Yeah,
and I think like only the die-hard Waterford fans kind of travelled down to Limerick that night, Brian. Expectations were pretty low. Do you think you kind of showed to the Waterford public and to yourselves as a team that you were heading in the right direction with that result?
Yeah, definitely. Look, I suppose you earn your support in a way, and what we'd done in 2014 had left us with very little core support at the start of 2015. So you had to go and earn back that support, I suppose. And in fairness, it was probably only friends and family and a few diehards that were up there in Limerick that night. But thankfully, as that year went on, we started to show that we were after turning a corner, and the support followed then. I think, the day we beat Wexford to get promoted, there was a huge Waterford crowd. So it just shows you what difference a few months can make, and a bit of going on a bit of a run can make.
Absolutely, and the game seemed to be kind of drifting away from me there in injury time. David Reedy got 2 goals from penalties, and then the fullback Richie McCarthy came forward and nearly lifted the roof off the stand with a late point. Did you think it was gone for me at that stage?
Yeah, you have a better memory than me now, but I do remember we'd been nip and tuck all the second half, and then now that you say it, Richie McCarthy did he got what seemed to be the winner, but no, thankfully Paddy Pender came up with with a great equaliser, and it would have been a sickener, to be honest, to go up and having played so well and lost by a point. And things are funny. Maybe the league would have went a different way, and even longer term, would we've had such successful years under Derek if we've been under pressure? It's hard to know, but there was a lot of significance to it, definitely. So a fair play to Paddy for nailing the equaliser.
Yeah, he got 2 points that night. He came on for Philip Mahoney in the first half, and you crossed the ball over to him before he struck the delivering point. Can you remember anything about that last play, Brian?
I can. I remember thinking I was at a crazy angle to go for myself. It would have been a Hollywood wide if I'd went for it myself. So you're just looking across kind of 21 or somewhere and looking for any kind of a white jersey you can see. And I think Jamie Byrne and Paddy weren't too far apart, so I just kind of pushed in their general direction and hoped for the best. And thankfully it went straight to Paddy, and he didn't make a bag of it at all. He touched perfect and he nailed the score. So. Yeah, look, it was helter-skelter stuff at that late stage, trying to get the equaliser. I'm nearly sure the ref blew it straight away afterwards. So we were delighted to get the draw out of it. Yeah,
I suppose it hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Waterford in recent times. I think if you go back to 2005, the last time Waterford got a win over Limerick in the Gaelic grounds. What was it, a venue that you liked playing in?
It was now, personally, to be honest. There's nothing you can't make any complaints about the field or the dressing rooms or anything like that. I think a lot of days we've come up against a fairly decent Limerick team up there, and other than that, we've had a few poor matches against Tip there as well. But no, there's nothing. I think you can read into a lot about grounds and things like that. But look, it's a perfect surface, and it's a perfect stadium, and the dressing rooms are fine, and there's normally a good atmosphere there. So look, we've had no excuses. It's not down to the grounds or anything like that. Maybe it's just a little hoodoo that you have to hopefully get over on Saturday night.
Yeah, how do you think this Waterford team will fare against Limerick? I think Anthony Daly described John Kiley's side as the team to beat already, even though we're still only in early February.
Yeah, they look at in fairness, like Limerick have had a very consistent last 2 years. Our Ireland champions the year before, and probably unlucky not to make our Ireland final last year. And maybe a bit of hassle in the off season with a few things off the field that can work to your advantage if you can turn in such a way. And they look like a team that are really after focusing in now, and they're really going well. They've done very well in the first 2 rounds of the league and things like that, and they look to be moving quite well. So I think it'll be a great test for the lads on Saturday night to see where they are, because great win against Cork, and then you don't really know how to judge the Westmeath performance. So it's a real test, and hopefully they'll put up a good performance.
Do you think, looking at the 2 games so far, Brian, from Waterford's perspective, that some of the hurts that we're feeling in 2019 is starting to come out in some of their displays?
I think so. Yeah, definitely the Cork game. You could see lads were ravenous for work and really working hard, and that's what you want to see, a team hungry to chase and to block. And I think once you have that, generally things fall into place. So that was a great sign in the Cork game, that having had the nightmare start, that lads didn't start question themselves. They kept chasing, and they kept working for the jersey and working for each other, and they're the little bits you want to see at this stage of the season, to be honest. And
Brian, you announced your retirement from intercounty hurling last summer after the Cork game. Are you missing it much so far?
Not so far. Not much so far, to be honest. It's fairly demanding at this stage. The demands of intercounty are gone extreme. I'm certainly glad I did it for so long and things like that. But miss seeing the lads and going down in the car and stuff, and elements of the training. But it's nice to go back and to your club and do different things and have a bit more time to yourself to do what you want. It's nice to be outside looking in, and I presume there'll be a time when I will miss it and things like that. But I have no regrets. I had a good time, and I wasn't getting any better, so no, I have no regrets. It was a good time to go, I think, for me. Yeah, and has it given you the opportunity to maybe do things that may not have been possible, like when you were part of the intercounty setup? Oh, definitely. Yeah, little things like join the golf club now the other day in West Waterford. Little things like that you wouldn't have time for when you're playing. Going to Cheltenham in a few weeks and things like that. Just small things that, as I said, intercounty, it takes up a lot of your time, and it doesn't give much time for things like that. But look, once you're in it, you're delighted to be in it, and it is an honour to play for your county and things like that. I don't want to sound ungrateful. It's a privilege when you're in there, but it's just the way intercounty's gone. It's becoming a huge effort on time, and it's nice to do different things once you're out of the bubble. Yeah, like you mentioned Cheltenham there, Brian. I saw your picture recently there with the famous horse owner Rich Ritchie there at Leopardstown. How did that come about? A bit cheeky. No, it was straight after Faheen had the win, and I saw him going into the parade ring, and I just kind of passing on my congratulations, things like that. And he was actually very active and was chatting away. I was surprised, and one of the lads was ahead of us, and he just took a picture or two. And Rich Ritchie was a very nice fella, always affable, and likes chatting to the Irish racing crowd. So look, as I said, things like that are nice. I think there was probably National League on that was the day Waterford actually playing Westmeath, and it's mad how zoned out of it you can become only a few months out. Very good. Well, Brian, thanks a million for taking the call this evening, and we'll catch up to you again very soon. No problem, Tomas. Thank you. Sean O'Brien getting away there from Gavin O'Brien. Good hand pass off to Richie McCarthy. Could Richie be the hero? Richie McCarthy from the middle of the field, high and over the bar. Come at the hour, come at the man. Comes back then to Brian O'Halloran. Brian O'Halloran, crossfield ball looking for Byrne. It'll break to Paddy Prendergast. Paddy Prendergast, has he a chance to equalise the ball game? Paddy Prendergast high, and Paddy Prendergast over the bar. Super score. The sides are level for the 6th time.
We are WLR.
We are Ireland's local station of the year.